out taking a bike ride. Can't see my bike. Just finished work for the day. Just out here watching the sun go down. Just thinking about life. Just wanted to share a couple of thoughts. Just a cycle that behavior that we get on as humans sometimes is that cycle of now I've arrived, or now this is the thing, or this is the person, or this is the place, and now, like, all the other ones haven't been it, but this is it. And that can be okay, that can be the truth, but sometimes we find ourselves on a cycle of arriving at that place. And if we trace our journey over the last months or years, that's been a continuation. We've kept feeling like this is it, with a person or a diet or an exercise or a career or a house or whatever it is. We're on that cycle of this is it, or now I'm changing, or now, like, and it keeps going, it perpetuates, and nothing actually changes. And wherever we are, we're like, okay, if we're not struggling with something, or we aren't just getting over the last failure, we're at a place where we're like, yes. And just being aware of, like, if that becomes a pattern, then it may be more. There may be more than meets the eye there. Sometimes it's about we keep getting drawn back into the same types of scenarios. There's something about what's familiar, what we're attracted to, that's the same every time, which means it doesn't work out. Whether that's the type of person we're attracted to, or the type of work we go for, or the type of friends we hang out with. Sometimes it's about the types of things we're attracted to. Sometimes that's the issue. Secondly, sometimes the issue is the way we respond to people or given situations. So it doesn't matter how many times we start at a good thing, it's going to end the same way because of the cycle of the way that we continue to respond to people or situations or challenges. So in the first instance and in the second, it's important to just reflect on those things, get accountability, and just be self-aware, and not just keep stepping into a new thing all the time without properly evaluating why something hasn't worked out in the past. I'm speaking here if we end up in a cycle like this. If it's about the fact that it's of how we respond to things, then it's definitely important to get help. I know for myself, I've spent months on some things and even years on others. Years just continuing in a negative cycle about a particular thing when it's been dealt with in a 10-minute conversation, or like one appointment, or one actual targeted approach or intentional approach to dealing with it. And all this time I've just been putting it off, or not dealt with it, or been uncomfortable with dealing with it, and I've just been living in a negative, repetitive situation for so long, when it could have been dealt with so effectively much sooner. So asking for help can be prevented in a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's the thing that we need help for is private, or it's difficult, or it's complicated, and sometimes it's we don't know where to find help, or how to find help that we can trust. And it's important to approach it in a right way. You need to be looking for help in areas that you can trust when it comes to, it's especially things that we feel shame about because we're dealing with stuff that we haven't been able to fix, or it's gone on for long and we feel some sort of stupid about it or shame about it in some type of way. So find someone you can trust, but there is good people in the world, whether that's a counselor, whether that's a mate, whether that's a family member. There is good people that you can get accountability off, but you've got to be willing, you have to choose to sit through the discomfort of asking for help if that's what makes you uncomfortable, or sit through the discomfort of approaching the thing. And there's so many things that I've ended up getting help for in my life that I was uncomfortable about, and it was like, oh, I would just fix it like that. And it was something that we build up in our minds a lot of the time that stops us approaching things. And whether it's our work or health or relationships, we continue in a negative cycle or not dealing with something for so long, when sometimes the solutions are really, really quite easily addressed if we get the right help. We all have areas that we don't know everything about, or areas where we've followed bad examples, or areas where we still need to learn. We're adults and we got to 30 and there's still things that we hadn't learned in life, and now it feels embarrassing to go back and relearn those things. But you didn't learn everything when you were growing up. Your parents couldn't teach you everything, and the people you spent time with, you didn't necessarily learn everything that you can learn from them. So keep learning, keep sitting through the discomfort of learning late in life about different things. And if you find yourself in a cycle where you keep finding yourself in that place of now I've arrived, and that keeps happening, and then things keep not working out, then look at those two things. Is it the types of things that I'm attracted to, or is it the way that I repeatedly respond to people or situations or challenges once I'm there? Get some accountability on that. Speak to someone who's stuck with you over a long period of time, who's seen your behavior and your life over a long period of time, and get some honest reflection. And sometimes I think we get uncomfortable too, just reflecting back on asking for help, because we feel like we either can't speak to someone at all, or we have to take all of their advice. And everyone you ask for help, even the best of people, you still approach their advice and their counsel with your own critical thinking. They don't know everything about you, and you don't know everything about them, and there's always communication and nuance, and things that need to be broken down and understood, and things you need to experience to actually work through. So you never completely take something 100% on board. You always still approach it with your own critique, but make a start. Stay reflective in life. Get out there. Do good things. Peace.